Hi, today is October 19th, 2024, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 1624 for the year, Amenity Kit. Me, is this Delta? Delta, yes, may I help you? Me, I'd like a ticket, please. Delta, for when and to where? Me, anywhere, as soon as possible, it doesn't matter. Delta, I'm sorry. Me, I just saw the advertisement about the new Amenity Kit designed exclusively for Delta by Missoni. That means that if I want to check out that Amenity Kit, I will have to fly Delta. Isn't that correct? Delta, I suppose, but so I'm happy to report that your advertisement, as well as your new partnership with Missoni, is an unqualified success, because here I am, ready to fly Delta solely because I want to check out this new, awesome-looking Amenity Kit. Delta, ma'am, I'm sorry, but I'm actually male, but you don't have to call me sir or ma'am. You can call me John or Mr. Hall. Delta, Mr. Hall, I'm sorry, but you will have to choose a destination. I really don't care where I go. I just want to make sure I get the Missoni branded zip bag with the short socks with the Delta logo and red toe caps, the Humble Company bamboo toothbrush with Marvis mint flavored toothpaste, the earplugs, the ballpoint pen, and the Grown Alchemist pouch with the hand cream and lip balm. It's a $30 value, but it's mine for free if I fly first class on Delta, so that's what I want to do. Delta, all right, Mr. Hall, I can have you on a flight to Boston that leaves at 5 p.m. today, returning tomorrow. That will be $980. Thank you so much. I can't wait to enjoy my Amenity Kit, designed exclusively for Delta Airlines by Missoni. Poem number 1625, The Weather Vane. The weather vane was tired of turning whichever way the wind blew, and decided instead to speak the direction of the wind rather than point it out. Sometimes it would speak in code and say Hitchcock instead of north by northwest, or Wild Wild instead of west, or Austin Hipster Fest instead of south by southwest. Then one day the weather vane clammed up and stopped reporting on the wind's direction. Somewhat unsurprisingly, nobody seemed to give a shit. It turned out nobody really cared which way the wind was blowing. Poem number 1626, Thread. Very occasionally, I am pulled in by a thread that I happen to see, usually accidentally, on Threads. Yesterday I saw a post about someone who found a wallet and the obnoxious reception she received when the owner of the wallet met up with her to get the wallet back. I don't know if I have ever commented on a thread, but in this case I thought it might be helpful, so I said she was probably angry at herself for losing the wallet and was taking it out on you. Not an excuse, but perhaps it makes her behavior a little less inexplicable. I can't tell you how many notifications I have received about people liking my comment or responding to my comment. It felt like my phone buzzed 50 times within the first hour of me making this comment, with notification after notification about my comment. And yesterday I got many new followers on Threads, and I have to assume that it's the result of my rather obvious comment. This reinforces my conviction that I ought to avoid Threads, because if what I wrote passes for interesting, then Threads must be a very unfortunate place. Poem number 1627, Obvious Shit. I'm going to say some obvious shit, and I'm going to say it in an authoritative voice, and I'm going to add barely detectable pauses that will add a sense of gravitas and suspense to what I am saying, so that what I am saying will sound revelatory rather than pedestrian and simplistic and obvious. You're going to listen to my obvious shit, not fully realizing how very obvious it is, and when I get to the big reveal that actually reveals nothing, you will feel as though some new and profound nugget of information has entered into your mind and enlightened you. You won't actually have been enlightened, and you won't have learned anything. You will merely have recognized something you could have easily recognized as old and obvious news had you not been so entertained by my performance. I will behave as if I am on to something, and you will mistakenly give me the benefit of the doubt, and together we will accomplish nothing. And when my talk is over, I will take questions, and no matter how insipid the questions are, I will say, "That's a very good question," and I will seem to answer it thoughtfully, when in reality I will just be reciting additional obvious shit. And I will make sure to charge enough for my talk so that you will be invested in it, so you believe that I have said something not obvious, rather than believe that you have wasted your money. You're welcome. Poem number 1628, Length. On the one hand, it's the weekend and I have plenty of time, so the poems can be as long as they want. But on the other hand, I don't always want the poems to be so long. Instead of being as long as they want to be, sometimes I wish the poems would be as long as I want them to be. Poem number 1629, Remembered Verse. At nearly 92, there are many things she has forgotten, but she still has an excellent memory for songs and poems. When a rather offensive poem came to my mind a while back, I spoke the first 2 lines and asked her if she knew the rest. She said she did, and tried to recite it. "The French, they are a funny race," she began, but then was stuck. She needed the 3rd line, which I supplied. "They fight with their feet." Then she remembered and took it from the top and recited as if she was in school. "The French, they are a funny race. They fight with their feet and fuck with their face." She seemed proud and happy, but I was pretty sure all along that she could do it, as she was the one who had taught it to me so many, many, many years ago. And the last poem of the day, finally, poem number 1630, Amenity Kit, Revisited. I went a long way in 1624 to make the simple point that I think it's absurd that someone would choose to fly one airline over another simply because that airline offers a fancy amenity kit. But I don't know people, really. I don't know what motivates them. If I were assigned the task of getting more people to fly first class on Delta, I don't know what I would do. And maybe if Missoni knew that I was charged with that task, they might approach me with the amenity kit idea, and maybe I would go for it. And for all I know, maybe it makes sense. Never mind that people are selling the kits on eBay for $30. So if you happen to be jealous of Delta's first-class passengers, you can get one for yourself without ever leaving your home. But I don't know, maybe it's different if you get the amenity kit for free as part of your flight. Maybe buying one off eBay makes it less special. Maybe for the amenity kit to be really special, one must go through the work of taking the flight oneself. People like to believe that they have earned things, even if all they did to earn the thing was to buy something else. I know I've gone on way too long today, but here's an idea. I could buy up a bunch of those amenity kits and then book a flight on Delta and give one to everyone flying in coach. I'd be like the Pied Piper of Delta, sort of. I'm not going to do that, but I'm glad I thought of it. All right, that's it. 7.5 minutes. My Lord. All right, well, if you've been around this long, if you stuck around this long, I appreciate you. But if you haven't, I appreciate you too. It's just you don't know because you didn't get to this part. So anyway, I do appreciate you.